Alright, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to a new video here. So in today's video, I'm gonna be going over how to kind of trade with the trend using like the higher time frame trend, alright? Also, if you guys haven't checked out last week's video yet, go check it out now because that was the first part to the little video series we're doing here to this amazing strategy. And aside from that, we do live stream every morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. And if you guys haven't yet, go leave a like, subscribe, and I can see you guys in the video. Peace. Alright guys, so welcome to the video here. So in this video, I'm gonna be going over understanding trends, alright? Because I feel like a lot of people don't really have a understanding of what a trend is, or they don't know how to trade with the trend. So in this video, I'm going over all those topics. All right. So the topics is going to be, what is a trend? How do you know when a trend would change? Let me move my camera up. How do you know when a trend would change? Why you shouldn't be a superhero, and how to enter trades by following the trend. All right. All right. So what is a trend? So a trend in the forex market is going to be similar, something like this. You have consolidation, then you usually have a little breakout. Actually, here, let me make it here. You have a little consolidation. You have a breakout. Consolidation. Breakout. Alright, so to make it simple, it'll look like this. It'll be consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation. This is a downtrend, obviously, right? So an uptrend is obviously the same thing but reverse, right? An uptrend looks something like this. You have consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout. Camera up. So same thing as a downtrend, just reverse, right? Consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation. So this is like just like a general idea of what a trend is. It's obviously not going to be as easy when you identify them, but I'll make it simple for you guys in this video, right? So you guys, at the end of this video, you guys should be understanding what is a trend and how to kind of trade with the trend, all right? So obviously this is an uptrend you have here, right? Price is going up, uptrend. All right, so let's get into the next one. All right, so how do you know when a trend will change? How do you know when a trend will change, right? So I'm gonna draw it out first, and then I'm gonna explain it. So a downtrend is obviously gonna be something like this. Downtrend, right? Boom, 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 boom. All right, and then your uptrend will be price going up. It's easy, right? Price is going up now. This is an uptrend, right? This is your downtrend. And this is your uptrend. Simple, right? A trend will not change. And usually a trend, when you follow a trend, usually you like to follow a trend on a higher time frame, daily time frame, 4-hour time frame, weekly time frame, right? Those are the time frames you want to look at when you're following a trend. But a trend will not change on a small time, like on a RAM time frame, on a RAM day, at a RAM time. You're not gonna see price like a trend is just not gonna reverse on like a Wednesday at like 2 p.m. on a 15-minute time frame on a RAM day. Like that's not how trend works. You might get little trend changes within the market on a smaller time frame, but it doesn't mean the whole trend's gonna switch. Like let's say you have one bearish trend going down, it doesn't mean that the trend's bearish after. The trend is still bullish, but you might have a smaller time frame closing bearish. And that does not mean the trend's gonna change, right? So how a trend changes is if you go in a weekly time frame, you see some similar to this. Weekly candles are closing bearish, 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 bearish. This is a downtrend overall. It's obvious, right? And then this is an uptrend as you're getting like high time frame closing bullish, right? So it's kind of easy to tell the difference between the two. But the issue is when people try to call tops and bottoms, try and catch reversals, trying to think this is price reversing, go the other way, trying to predict the next top, next bottom, like trying to be a superhero, right? So I'll be getting to that a little later, but it's just a general view of what a trend is. All right, so let's get into the next slide. All right, so why you shouldn't be a superhero. So here's the thing. A lot of new traders, when they come to the industry or into forex industry, they like to kind of call tops and bottoms. You see it all the time. You see when traders go like this on the charts, they have like a little trend and they go like, oh, there's a little M forming. I predict the double top right here, and they try to catch a sell right here because they see that price has tapped this level once and they think that price will reverse off of this. But look prior to that. Look prior to that. What happened here? This is an uptrend, right? So this could be, like I said earlier, this can be like your little consolidation area. right here, right? And you don't know what's gonna happen here. So this is kind of like your range now. Boom, boom. So once you just wait for a break of the highs for price to drive up to continue an uptrend, right? And a lot of people, what they like to do is I like to call a rejection here. They like to automatically have a limit, a buy limit, a sell limit here, right? They try to predict the next rejection for price to come all the way back down. And that's what happens when you try to call tops and bombs, right? There's no need to be a superhero. You try to focus on coming in second place. I say this all the time. Try to focus on coming in second place and let the market come in first. Because if you try to come in first place all the time, what's gonna happen is you're gonna be going against the trend. And when you go against the trend, what's gonna happen is you have a way lower probability of winning a trade. Whereas if you were to follow a trend. Like I see it all the time. I see it on some Instagram. They try to post those like on Instagram when people post those wick entries, you know, and they try to impress other traders like, oh, I caught this from down here. I'm holding it to all the way up here. Like, here's my number one tip, man. And I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys in this video later. Follow the trend, and you will become a profit trader. You don't need to call all-time tops. You don't need to call all-time bombs. You don't need to catch a 1,000 pip move. You don't need to catch, you know, a reversal. You don't need to do any of that. Just catch your pips within the trend and get out and exit. And I'll show you guys how simple it is. If you guys watch the last video, you guys understand how simple it is. But I'm gonna go more into details as the more videos I post every week, alright? So this is just like today's video is gonna be just on based off of pretty much how to trade with the trend. Alright. So let me just okay, so now the question is, how do you enter trades by following the trend? And I'll show you guys how. Alright, so I'm gonna draw it out here. So let's say you have like a bearish trend coming, right? Foreman. Bearish trend is Foreman. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, and all of a sudden, you have like, and it doesn't matter what time frame it's on, this is just on a round time frame, but now you have like, for example, candles starting to close bullish, coming back up, right? So this is a trend that usually you'll see majority of times in the markets. This is a trend that you see all the time. I'll show you guys how on TradingView in a bit, but for now I'm just gonna draw on this little slide here, just to give you guys a little brief explanation about it. So now you're getting candles starting to close bullish. All right, all of a sudden we have now formed some type of resistance here. Let's say you form some type of resistance right here. All right, boom, and that obviously you form support as price tapped that support level. What do you have prior to these bullish candles here? You have a bearish trend, right? So here's what price will majority times do. Price usually goes down with the trend and then starts to find support because price can't just continue to go down forever. It has to find support at some point. So when price finds support, what it does is it finds a resistance, right? Like in the last video, once we find support, we find resistance. What is this form now? You guys know this by now, a range. So now this will be considered your range. So what happens when price follows a trend is once price finds support and finds resistance and makes that range, what it does is two things here. Price could either continue to break this resistance, or it can reject off of this resistance, come back down, right? Because it has found resistance, it has found its range, right? So once price finds its range, obviously what it does is it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, right? Until it breaks out of the range. So two things price can do here. It can continue to go down. So let's say in this example, price continues to go down here. So we close bearish at resistance. What usually happens once you close bearish at resistance is since the high time frame is bearish, and it's following the trend, what happens here is price, once it finds resistance, it starts to come back down to retest the lows that I created earlier, which is going to be right here, right? That's going to be right here. Boom, boom. The lows that it made earlier, right? So what happens here? This is the most probably key area because here it can do two things. It could either reject to go back up, to tap the resistance again, to fill the range again, or it could continue down here and break these lows here. Majority of times when price retests the lows the second time around, it usually breaks it. All right. And in next week's video, guys, I'll show you guys how this entire thing is just a wick fill. I'll explain it in the next week's video, right? So next week's video is gonna be about wick fills. I'm gonna explain how this move right here, this exactly what I drew here, is a wick fill. It's one how all of this looks like this pretty much. I'll explain how this looks like this. All right. If you guys on stream, you guys will know. But in the next week's video, I'll explain that and I'll go more into depth with that. But this video, I'm gonna keep it simple. It's just gonna be about following the trend. All right. So um, so what price usually does at these levels here is it either continues to come down or breaks or it rejects to go back up to fill the range, right? Majority of times, like I said, it will continue to go down here as it's following its bearish structured trend on a higher time frame. So now that I can drew this out, I'm gonna show you guys how this works on TradingView with live data, well, live past data, right? So see you guys there. Forgot to mention how this is different from calling tops and bottoms because this is you following the trend. The higher time frame trend is bearish here. This could be a little bullish range here you have on a smaller time frame, but on a higher time frame, it's still bearish. The majority of times, catching a sell from on this candle is just you following the same bearish trend you had here, right? This you can kind of look at this kind of like your retest, right? It's kind of like your little, price going down, retest to continue back down, bearish, right? And all right, so I'm gonna get into the TradingView examples. All right, guys, so welcome back. So right now I'm gonna show you guys examples on TradingView. All right, so I found a little example here of kind of what I was talking about. So what do you have here? Obviously, explained that this is a bearish trend, right? So when a bearish trend forms, closing bearish, what do you want to do? You want to take sells. You want to take more sells and buys, right? You want to follow the trend. So what happens here? Consolidation, obviously. Breakout. Consolidation. Breakout. Consolidation. Breakout. Consolidation. Breakout. That is a bearish trend. You see how easy it is to follow the trend, right? So you don't need to call tops and bottoms. You can just follow the trend until the trend actually changes, and you will tell when the trend will change. This is obviously a bearish trend. All right, so let me show you guys here. For example, here, what did price do right here? Now going back to the example to show you of what price always does all the time. What did price do right here? Price came down, created a range. Came down, created a range. What happened here? Look, let me zoom in actually. Let me zoom in now. More detail. Exactly like I drew earlier, right? Exactly like I drew earlier. What do you have here? Candle closing bearish. What did price do here? Price found some type of support here. So what did price want to do after? It came up to find resistance. Boom. So what do you do here? What's the higher time frame trend? Higher time frame trend is bearish, right? The trend prior to this range was bearish. This is not your range, by the way. This is not your range. What did price do at the range here? It made resistance at the range. So what did it do after? It continued down, right? It came all the way back down to retest the lows and it broke the lows to continue down. How did price do this? By following the trend. That's how simple it is. So one, you could have had your entries here when price made a resistance here, or two, you could enter as price broke these levels here. So I decided that I think I'm gonna use a simulator to kind of show you guys like how to take entries and exits on following the trend, right? So I'm gonna use it on a simulator. So catch you guys there. What's going on, guys? So welcome back to the simulator here. If you guys don't know more about the simulator, by the way, the link will be in the description down below. Yeah, there's a link to purchase it. So if you guys want to know more about it, just click the link in about, right? In the description down below. So what we're trying to do here in the simulator is I'm trying to show you guys kind of like how to enter on a smaller time frame, following the trend on a higher time frame, right? Following the higher time frame trend. So obviously this is the daily time frame we have here, and the daily time frame we have here is pretty bullish, right? We have a very bullish trend here. What did price do? As I mentioned in the slides, price came up, found resistance, came back down, found support. This is kind of like your range, right? So if this is your range, high chance we're gonna come up to fill this range, and eventually if we break this resistance, continue further bullish. But until then, the target for us for the daily is probably gonna be this resistance right here, because this is your daily resistance. I will look for buys here because look, the prior trend was bullish, right? I will look for buys here as we found support on the daily. They can actually close bullish at support here, and it actually looks like we're gonna continue up here. So I think buys on a day time frame looks pretty good here. So now the question is, how are you gonna enter? So let's go on to small time frame. Let's see how the small time frame looks. Okay, so I think what you have here is you kind of have like a little range formed, right? So you have like a 30-minute time frame here where we rejected this resistance, and then we formed some type of support down here at these levels here. Kind of like your little range area, right? So same thing that happened on the day time, that thing that I just mentioned. We had a bullish trend. Price came up, found resistance, come back down to find support. If this this support holds, we should be able to push back up to fill this range or continue further up, right? This is the exact scenario that we just had on a day time frame. If we go back on a day time frame, same exact thing here, you know. Bullish trend, range, high, low, been created, range, boom. We're expecting price to continue up here. It's the same trend on any single time frame. All right, so let's see. So I think what we're gonna wait for here is maybe a break above this resistance here, and we should be good to go up. Because once we break that resistance, I think we're gonna head towards this resistance up here, which is gonna be our target. All right, so let's see. Let's clone this on 15. Clone this on the other time frames. Okay, clone, boom. 15 resistance, cool. So we're gonna need a 15-minute closure above this resistance here, or a 30-minute kind of closure above that resistance here to indicate that we're gonna continue to push up, right? And you know, we're hoping for something like this to happen. Closure above, then you look for buys, going up, right? Until this resistance up here. Boom. This is kind of like your buys here in this range. This is a 30. This is I think a 30 pip range you have here. Let's take a look. Nice little 30 pip range here, so not bad. All right. So let's wait for that candle to close. All right, so it's 6:30 a.m. Eastern here, same time we live stream every morning. And see how today goes. It's a Monday, by the way. Speed up a little bit. Kind of slow. So we're waiting for resistance here to break, all right? Resistance there to break for us to drive up. So it's currently 7 a.m. here. All right, because if this support hold breaks, we're probably gonna come back down here. We need the support to hold, and we need this resistance here to break, because this is your range. And also, if you guys are new here, this is the simulator thing we do here. We do this like probably. Well, I'm gonna start to do it every weekend with the VIP and course members, right? Okay, cool. So, looks like we have formed some type of support here on a 15-minute time frame as we are breaking the structure. 30-minute close bullish, you know, 1 hour time frame. It's currently 8 a.m. So it's 8 a.m. NY just opened up at 1 hour candle close bullish at the support. So what do you guys think is gonna happen here? High chance we're gonna continue up here, right? To fill this range here. So this resistance, then eventually anticipate that we're gonna break up to this resistance as well. So I am gonna look for bias here on this candle as we close bullish at support. We found support here. I believe this is a decent support for us to continue up here. All right, let's see. Let me take entries. 22 pip stop loss. Or nice 50 pip TP. Card TP is up here, right? Actually, no, let's go 48 pip TP. All right. So 48 pip TP. Stop loss in the 22 pips, 23 pips. Spreads. Risk, we're gonna risk about 3%. All right, I usually risk around 1 or 2%. For my every morning, but I think we're gonna risk 3% here since it's just a simulator. All right, let's play it. The buys, boom. So buys, stop loss below there. TP's up here because we're anticipating that we're gonna as this support forms, we're anticipating that we're gonna continue up here to fill the range here, and then eventually break this resistance here to continue up to this level right here. But probably when price gets to these levels up here, I will look to close half of my positions and let the runner go to this target. If you guys are on our streams, you guys kind of know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about runners. All right, so we're in the trade here. So as long as this low gets respected, we should be able to drive up here. But once this low gets broken, the trade is not valid anymore. So understand that. Let's go on my trades. So this is the trade that we're in. Let's go to 10 pips in profit here. Nice. So we came up, tapped this resistance here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm probably gonna move my stops to entries. 1 and close half of my positions here. I secure 50% of my profits. All right, so I secured half there, and now this is what a runner is. A runner is when you kind of like close half of your positions and move your stops and entries and let the whole position run to the next target, to your next daily resistance or whatever it is, right? So I will attempt a runner position here. Because like another thing is that 1, you can either move your stops and entries as you're at 10 pips or whatever, or 2, you can move it as it makes sense, right? And it makes sense here because price did tap a minor resistance here. So at this level, price could easily reject off. So you want to make sure to maybe close half here, or move stops and entries, right? And use it to your advantage. Okay, cool. Continue to play it. But yeah, stops are at break even for this trade. So we're still in here. It's 8:30 here, right? 8:30, 30-minute candle closed bullish, 15 closed bearish, but the 30-minute still closed bullish here. The 15 closed bearish here, a very weak bearish candle at resistance here. I believe once we break this high here, we should be able to push up here, because we did close bearish here at resistance. So once we break this high here, if this 15-minute candle here were to break this high, you could expect something like this. All right, let's see what happens here. That's if we break this resistance. If we don't, then it's fine. Oh, wow, there's trade. Wow, guys, and by the way, I haven't seen this data yet. This is just all random here, but look, wow, drew it out. We broke this resistance here, broke the highs, and just exploded up to the target, right? It made sense. Look at that time. It's 8 a.m. 8 a.m. New York open, right? We waited for a range to be created here, support to be created here. Wait for support to be created and confirmed. As we close bullish, we entered off of this candle here. TP up here, anticipating that with the 8 a.m. opening, we should be able to push past this resistance here, and that's exactly what we did here. We broke above it. That was a very clean trade you have here on GJ. Wow. All right. Nice. So that's a little example of how you kind of enter trades on a smaller time frame using the higher time frame bias, right? So using the higher time frame trend, higher time frame is bullish, we use the smaller time frame to enter. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video here about understanding the trends. I didn't want to make the video too long. I was going to provide more examples on Simulator, but the video is longer than I thought it would be, right? So hope you guys enjoyed this video here. Hope you guys understand what a trend is now. Hope you guys understand how to look for entries on a smaller time frame using the higher time frame trend. Next episode will be next week. I'm not sure what will be on yet. I'll let you guys know on the Instagram page, right? Obviously. But aside from that, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.